I'm back. And with 2 new FNAF fan games that I'm still working on. They're not done, but one of them might be coming out soon. Maybe. And that game is the one we will be talking about today. A Cold Night at Freddy's. And I'm actually really proud of this game. Unlike my other game that I made, that we should probably talk about. Feeding Freddy isn't good. It's unpolished, visually lacking, bad hitboxes, jump scare clipping, and probably a couple more problems. And that's fine. The game's pretty good for a game that you made for your friends to play and to make a couple YouTube videos about. But when a ton of people start playing it, it's not good. And you might be like, oh, why did you upload it to Game Jolt? Well, I just did that because it was a May as well. And I know it is a free FNAF game and there shouldn't be any expectations on developers that make a free game. Well, I guess the expectation is that it doesn't give you a virus. But I want to create one more little fan game just to really show my skills. Although, I will be making more fan games after this. I mean, I'm working on Brick and my other one. So, this time I created a game design document. I've made them before, so it was pretty easy. I just create a document to plan out the game and its development. After that, it was on to creating the office, and this time it was actually pretty easy, especially because the game is going to be pre-rendered. So it was very easy to create the materials. I later remastered the office because I wanted it to look better. After I'd finished with the office before I remastered it, but then I popped it into Godot and I got some basic office movement working. But then I wanted to add some sound effects because that was one thing that the game was really lacking in. So I added some really nice ambient sound effects, and depending on where the player is looking, the sound may be louder or quieter, which really helps with immersion and adds a lot of life to the game. But it's still just an office. And on the first day of development, that isn't bad, but I need cameras. So the next day, I quickly created a camera flip-up animation. And when I mean quickly, it really wasn't quick. It took way too long to make that. But I got it looking right in the end, so that's all that matters. And I guess to make up for that, I did some speedy programming. I added a camera bar, made it so when you hover over the bar, it opens up the cameras. It plays a little fade animation. I made it show the camera and its GUI after the animation is done. I also programmed camera buttons, also made it so when you put your mouse over the bar again, the camera flips it down. Normal FNAF stuff. Also, there was some pretty cool effects when you change camera and stuff, all thanks to the animation player node in Godot. I also made the first camera room, that being the show stage / dining room. But after I added the cams, they were looking very good with all their fancy effects, so I went back to rework the office and fix up the lighting. Now the fan can spin, which doesn't really make a lot of sense when you're trying not to freeze to death. I mean, but you can always turn it off. That was a nice little thing. When you click these blue buttons next to the corresponding door, I made it so when you click these little blue buttons, the corresponding door closes. So, click the left button, left door closes. Unlike FNAF 1 though, they don't stay closed until you re-click the button. They will open after 3 seconds. The building in this game has a generator which can only hold a limited amount of power. So instead of trying to save your power, like for FNAF 1, your goal is to use it all up so it can regenerate and you can use it again. The systems like the door and the heat button which is used to heat up the building, use 100% of the power, which makes it so you need to reach in it again to use it. Sort of like is it like a subversion of the original FNAF mechanics? I think that's the right word. Guys, the word is not subversion. I just searched up what it means. That's not. Now, what's the point of shutting the doors if there's no one to shut them on? And what's the point of watching the cameras if there's no one to watch? Now I'll have to get into that next time. But if you're still interested in the game's development, follow the game on GameJolt. There will be a link in the description, and I will see you next time.